Welcome, everyone, to the Real Whovians Cast Unlimited, episode 21. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with the Timeless, our newest member. What's up, Jessie?
Yay, I'm fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. All right, so this is awesome. You're our newest member, and this is your first podcast, so welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Okay, so usually the format of the Real Whovians Cast Unlimited is we never have the same member on here twice because it's always for like the Daily Motion audience and YouTube also. The group everybody in the community gets to see each individual member of the Real Whovians Cast. And being that you're our newest member, it's going to be focused on you and, you know, your first experiences with Doctor Who, your favorites. So it's all about you. All right, the Timeless. So, all right, you ready?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Jessie, what was the first episode that you've ever seen of Doctor Who? And how old were you?
Oh, God. 2005. How old was I? I was about 10, maybe?
Okay.
And it was Rose. I started off with the new series in 2005, so I started off with Rose.
And that got you hooked?
Yeah, although when you look back on it now, it's like, this is what got me hooked.
Right, I know.
it's like pizza. I'm like, okay. Yeah. But no, yeah, I am a diehard Whovian now. I've watched Classic as well, and I love it.
Good. Now, what about the Classic series? Have you seen a lot of the episodes, or?
I haven't seen all of Hartnell, Troughton, or Pertwee yet, but I have seen all of Baker, Davison, Baker, and McCoy. I have seen all of them.
Okay.
So.
And you also saw the one McGann movie.
Yes, absolutely.
Thing. Okay.
Yes.
Excellent. All right. So I'm going to start off with, you've seen the whole new series, right?
Yes.
So who is your favorite Doctor? I know that your first Doctor experience with Christopher Eccleston, but who is your favorite of the new series?
That is really hard. I feel like I connected the most with Matt Smith because I tend to talk with my hands a lot. I walk into walls a lot. So I feel like he's my Doctor. But right now, I'm really liking Peter Capaldi.
Excellent.
I really like his Doctor.
What about David Tennant?
I know. He's good
he's my
too.
favorite, I know.
He's really good too. It's so hard picking one because they all have like their merits. But
well, at least he's on your favorites list.
Yeah, no, I have a favorites list. I don't have a definitive one as of yet.
Right. Okay. That's good enough. You don't have to narrow it down. No pressure there. Nobody's going to come at you like, how dare you,
I know.
So, okay. So, I mean, I just want to bring up David Tennant, not just because he's my favorite, but, I don't know if you've ever seen him in Jessica Jones.
Not yet. I am trying.
OMG.
I'm trying. My friend told me that he licked a brain, and I'm like, you know what? I can just see him doing that at this point.
It's like if the Doctor was evil, there you go. No. He's pretty awesome. It's like a cross between the Master and everything. It was kind of interesting with the mind control, because the Master was always like with the mind control. So it's like if oh my God, if the Master regenerated back into David Tennant's form and just went on a mayhem, that would be crazy. So anyway, getting back to Doctor Who.
Yes.
What episodes, really, do you find yourselves, on your top list that, are emotional, you really just, oh my God, it's on, I gotta watch it. What episodes really draw you, you just watch it more than any other ones?
Oh, God. I do remember the first time I saw... Of course, I'm not going to remember the title of it. I'm bad at titles. When Rose died.
Doomsday?
Yeah. Wow, really? I couldn't remember that. The first time I saw that, I was crying, and I felt so bad for the Doctor. I'm like, no. But of course, now when I watch it, I'm like,
It was the first. It was seeing him cry and that he was going to say, "I love you." And then it just stopped him. It was like a defining moment for Doctor Who. It's like, oh. And then Donna just pops up in the TARDIS. And
where am I? I love Donna so much.
Nice. You know, it's like.
Yeah. If a Donna episode is on, I have to watch it. My favorite is Partners in Crime because that whole window scene, I love it.
Hysterical.
I love it. That is like one of my favorite episodes is Partners in Crime. You know, it got cute little adipose, but it's really because the doctor is finding Donna and they're like the perfect match for each other. They really are.
I liked all the trailers building up to that too. When she's talking to Graham. And his funny thing is he, you know, appeared in Voyage of the Damned, Graham, her grandfather. And she did.
Okay.
You know, so that was interesting. And then he appeared afterwards again with her, so that was good. Okay, so what about the villains? What villains are your favorite?
Oh, God. Wowza. Okay. I like the old Cybermen because I feel like they're too much like Iron Man now. I mean, they literally have like
you and I agree with that. Yeah.
They literally have like little things and they're flying. I'm like, no. I like the bulky-headed ones with like the silver jumpsuits. I like those the best.
Like Sylvester McCoy, like battle them.
Yeah, like those. Yeah. Even the Munstasian ones where they're like they have the human hands and it's like it's cooler. I think. Right. I do like Zygons. I really want to pick.
Oh, I hate the Zygons.
I really want to pick like little monsters that no one knows about.
No, you can pick whatever ones that are your favorite. What about the Silence? What about the Weeping Angels?
Yeah, I do like the Weeping Angels, though. Okay. I thought that was an interesting concept.
I went to the filming Angels Take Manhattan. That was amazing. Love that.
It's so cool.
I know. That was like my greatest Doctor Who experience ever. I was walking to Matt Smith, and it was like something out of a movie. And I went to shake his hand, and the cop stepped right in, like, oh, hey. And then Matt Smith was like looking at me like, I'm sorry, man. You're like, because I was ready to like shake his hand, and I'm like, oh, and I was there all day.
I was right there.
I was like this, and I was like, you know, excuse me, like, get back up. I'm like, oh, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry, man. And then he made an announcement he was going to be around, but my feet's blistered up and everything, and oh my God, I was there all day. But I got to be like feet away from Matt Smith. I got to see Moffat across the street. I got to see Arthur Darvo across the street, Karen Gillan, and of course River Song. Alex Kingston wasn't there because something happened with a flight that they had to get a guy, put a wig on, and dress up like River Song to drive the car, and that was a guy. And it was like, oh my God, people really don't know that.
Oh my God.
And if you're watching it, you just see the hair, like driving the car or whatever, because Matt Smith's talking with, you know, Amy in the car or whatever, so you don't see that that's a guy. So that was the funniest experience I've ever seen. Nobody really knows that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But, so what about Davros and the Daleks? Do you like the Daleks, or are you one of those like, why are they appearing again?
No, I like the Daleks. I mean, I do think it's kind of like a tradition now where they have to appear at least once with each Doctor or at least once every season.
I think it's a kind of contract.
That's what I think too, yeah. But I do like Davros.
Yeah.
Not quite sure I like that they made him, quote-unquote, soften up for a bit in Series 9.
Oh, you're just talking constantly?
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to see him open his eyes.
Yeah.
I never want to see him open his eyes.
It was an amazing episode, but I think they wanted...
I loved it.
They never had a long interaction, I think, and Moffat is a fan, of course, before he took over, and he wanted to have that moment before he left with a Doctor, and Davros had a nice long dialogue. So I get it. You know? But now there's also this thing, so you like the Weeping Angels, Daleks you like, Cybermen. What about Madame Corvarian and the Silence?
That was
people want her to, Frances Barber, they want her to appear again. A lot of people do.
I thought the whole church thing was a little weird.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought it was weird. Just like, this doesn't seem like Doctor Who because they're kind of putting like the Doctor actually goes to a church. I thought maybe they would keep him like a mystery in what he believes in, but it's like, I mean, let alone a church where you have to go in butt naked, but But
well, they did do that though in the classic series with the Seventh Doctor in Curse of Fenric, where those creatures were coming, and it was like a church moment about faith, and he went like this or something, and it was like the holiest, like supposed to be, like in other words, his faith was unbelievable, like holy of holy, and they all got like messed up. I don't know if you remember that scene. And then
I've only watched it once, unfortunately.
And then you look at it, you're like, oh my God, is he religious? Like, what is that? You know, is that another aspect we don't know about him? And then later on, he had to make Ace lose her faith in him in order to defeat the villains. But yeah, no. So it's weird too that they had the church thing.
Yeah.
But that's not the only church thing that they had, though. I mean, that it's interesting about that church because it's the same church that with River. With Time Angels, but it was, I guess, in the future, past that, because it's back and forth, you know?
Yeah.
So you got to really keep track. But the Master also had his own church, like the Church of Saxon, if you remember, where they tried to bring. So that's kind of weird how they kept throwing church in here and there. All right, so what episode, like when Matt Smith, you're a big Matt Smith fan, were you upset that he didn't opt for another season? Because I know there was some of us that was like really upset, and then when I broke the news, people got mad at me like I wanted it, which I didn't, and that he you know, they were like, oh, he's never leaving, but he did, and Moffat was even crushed because he had his whole outline to explain everything, you know, and he couldn't, so he had to explain Madame Corvarian in 2 sentences or a sentence in, you know, Time of the Doctor. But were you really upset when Matt Smith left? Because I know sometimes people are really upset when the Doctor leaves.
Yeah, I wasn't too upset. I mean, I was kind of like swept up in the moment, I guess, because when they announced Peter being the next Doctor, I was immediately like, okay, cool, finally they're going older. You know, he's not going to be like 10 years old running around. But yeah, of course, when he was leaving, it's like, oh no, he's leaving. I really don't want him to go. But it was, I mean, he was a good Doctor. I was sad to see him go, but I wanted to give the next Doctor a good chance before I, you know.
Was there any episodes that really emotionally tied you to the series even more, like strengthened you? Like any River, like Amy episodes, like anything stands out with Clara? I mean, what about like Pandorica Opens, Big Bang?
I don't know, because it's been a while since I saw them for the first time.
What about the one where Amy got married and like she forgot him because he went through the crack and then turned off?
That was pretty cool. I mean, I did think the old wedding adage part was a little bit corny, but it was cute. It was cute. It's like, hello everybody, I'm Amy's imaginary friend, but I came anyways. Right. It's like, I love that.
That was pretty cool. What about River Song? Do you like River Song?
I do like River. I loved it when I made the first connection when I saw the Doctor do this. And I'm like, it's the Doctor that snaps his fingers to open the TARDIS. This is what that woman was talking about. And then River came back. I was like, oh, yay. I was so happy. But I do like her character, though. She's a really cool character. I don't know if I'm emotionally tied to any of her episodes. Right. But, no, yeah, her and Matt Smith are, like, perfect.
What about her and Capaldi? Did you like that in Husbands of River Song?
I did, actually. I mean, I was almost like, she's got to be kidding, right? She knows who the Doctor is. She knows who Capaldi is.
Well, that was the thing. She was that emotional scene. I thought that was really one of the best things Moffat written. Yeah.
I love when she realized, she's like, oh, you got to be kidding me.
And he's like, hello. He's like, hello, sweetie. And it's like, oh my God.
Hello, sweetie. And I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah.
But I actually thought that they actually looked more like a couple than her with Smith and her with Tennant. Like, they looked like they were a couple. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, the thing with Matt Smith, with her, because the age difference, it looked really weird.
Yeah.
And then Moffat has this weird sense of humor or weird thing where he's building up Clara. Looks like him and Clara are going to get together, actually, where he would have got together with Rose. And then he throws River Song in the episode. I'm like, that was like the finale with the, you know, and it's like, oh, man. So how are we going to do that now? It's like she's dead, but then that was like weird. But I enjoyed it. I mean, at first I didn't like it. Was that the name of the Doctor, I believe?
Yes.
But then I really became one of my favorites anyway. So what about Clara? Do you like Clara as a companion?
I actually do like Clara. I mean, there are times where I'm like we're doing this again. But I think I'm one of the minority out there that actually likes Clara. Because within my own family,
I
my
like
mother
her too. I just don't like when Moffat makes her responsible for everything.
Yeah.
You know.
She puts too much pressure on herself, and then sometimes she looks to the doctor too much. Where, you know, it's like, tell me what to do, or I will fall off this pit into lava for you, or it's like a bit.
Well, you mentioned your family. Like, what you mentioned your family.
Yeah.
Like, tell me about that. You said with Clara.
I don't know how my dad feels about Clara. I know he didn't like Rory. He didn't like Rory at all. But my mother doesn't like Clara. I think she found her annoying.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's also bad because I'm practicing a Clara impression for someone. My mom does not like it.
I think you know, she's like one of my favorite companions. But Moffat has done things with her character to make fans like rebel against her. You know, where it's like, does she need to be the reason why he chose the TARDIS? Because, you know, I'm old school.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, that's not the way it happens. You know, and then it's like, is she the reason why he became the Doctor because he was a kid in the bed and everything, and she created the Doctor? No. Is she the reason why Amy and Rory got back together from divorce? No. Is she the reason why he didn't kill all the Time Lords? No. Is she the reason why he got regenerations? Yes. It's like everything is Clara. Everything. And I'm like, stop it! You know?
I know, it's like the whole thing with she's the Impossible Girl in the next season. Impossible Girl who? Like who? What?
Well, see, the thing is, you can tell that through his writing, and I write too, that he actually threw the scripts out when he found out that she wanted to stay. And they had to reshoot the scene with the Christmas, the last Christmas, where she was coming back. But a lot of fans were like, oh, great, now he just threw out the scripts. And now on the fly, at the last minute, they felt, all right, well, maybe the script's going to be crap because it's not nurtured and not, enough where now you have to do that. So that's the thing. You kind of feel like when you're watching her last episodes, you kind of feel like he was angry at the actress for leaving and kind of put it in the thing there. Well, she's not the Impossible Girl because she, screwed up and got the, the Raven and everything. So look at that. Look at her nonsense. Yeah, she's bad. And then he probably realized, oh, crap, I really need to bring her back because, I kind of screwed that up. Why did I do that? And then he screws up the whole plot of, oh, my God, the Time Lords are returning. Let's build that up. And then it was over. It's like, oh, yeah, I got to bring them back just for Clara.
Yeah.
And people were, angry. They're like, I thought he was going to go search for them. I thought there was going to be a whole season quest where he saves them from that universe thing. And they didn't even explain that either.
I know.
So, I love Russell T. Davies, and I love Moffat, too. And I always praised, but sometimes I'll get a cast where, usually we try to have, a rated G cast, where, all family. Sometimes things happen, and it's not rated G anymore. And we're all like, Moffat! And, the other night, we were doing, a 2-hour cast, and we're like, this Christmas he's going to, he had the fork monster and the spoon head and the tree people, stop it, Moffat, stop it! It's like, so, and then people look at us, they're like, he's a hater! Matrix Lloyd's a hater! We're having fun, But at the same time, we want, because Moffat wrote one of the most best Doctor Who stories ever. So, and it's kind of, when you don't get that anymore, it's like you rebel a little bit, But it's not hating against Moffat. We just want him to be better. But, okay, so what about, Russell T. Davies and Moffat? Who is your favorite showrunner?
Oh, goodness.
Russell T. Davies was up until End of Time, and then Moffat took over with Matt Smith. But Moffat had episodes working for us.
I know, yeah, with the girl in the fireplace, Silence in the
favorites.
Library.
Yeah, also my favorites.
I felt that Russell T. Davis's era was a bit more like a soap opera because he had him fall in love with people, and then the companions fell in love with him. Martha was all head over heels for the Doctor, and he was pining over Rose.
It was a thing in their contract. They're like, all right, listen, if you're going to appear with David Tennant, you have to kiss him. And it's like, okay. It's like everybody's kissing. Even Donna, she's like, we got to get that one in there. It's going to be funny. You know, it's like, okay.
I think it's when Moffat took over is when I really started to get into the show. I don't know why. I thought, again, because Matt Smith was the Doctor. But I think I was drawn in more to the stories with Moffat. Like, everything was somehow connecting, which was really cool. It's like, oh, this thing from this episode is here in this episode. What's going to happen? Of course, sometimes the explanations are less than good.
This is what we complain about lately. It's just we like to have closure with things. You know? Like, you really didn't go see Brian, did you? To tell him, yeah, by the way, your kid's trapped in the 30s with his wife. Sorry about that. You were right.
Yeah.
Damn.
I shouldn't have taken them on that last trip. Sorry.
Sorry about that. I know you warned me, and yeah, take care now, right? Thanks.
Yeah.
That's why I felt like with Russell T. Davis, it was more characterization built up. You know, like when Donna left, the mother's like, just get out of here. You know, you did this. You erased a memory. You're like, whatever. You know, but it was like more feeling. You know, more closure. Like he wrapped up all loose ends. But Moffat, he don't believe in wrapping anything up. He probably, at Christmas time, he probably just gave people like a present without getting wrapped up. And that's what we're worried about. We want his last season to really be his best. Like it used to be his episodes Blank and, you know, Empty Child, Dr. Dances, all these episodes that he did that he shined before he became showrunner. Even the episodes with Matt Smith were very emotional. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, didn't you get that? Like there was more, he put more heart into it. Yeah. With the trailers, with Amy and Rory. It was always like, so we just, for some reason, some of us on our group, we don't see that lately. The heart like he had with Capaldi, with them. So hopefully we have that this year. But that's just our opinion, some of us. Tell me what episodes, and if you can't remember the names, it's fine. Like, just describe the episodes that you really liked.
Oh, boy. Well, normally I actually like the first episode of each Doctor.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's like...
11th Hour with Matt Smith?
Yeah, 11th Hour. It's the whole scene with him trying to get something to eat, and he doesn't know what to eat. I love it.
Right.
And I love Deep Breath.
Okay.
I thought that was really cool because it's like, oh, this doctor doesn't know what he's doing, but it's kind of like, oh, okay, I can see the vibe of this doctor. Yeah, he's the doctor, and it's same thing with the classic era.
What about the Christmas Invasion? Well, actually, we had the like David Tennant's first episode. What'd you think of that?
Oh, no, I liked it. It was one of those odd ones where it's like, oh, the doctor's not really the focal point. He just comes in at the end.
Yes. Okay.
So I thought that was pretty interesting, actually. It worked. But I like the finality of him coming out at the end.
Yeah, with the tea and everything.
Yeah.
Now, what about the Regeneration episodes? What's your favorite?
Oh, boy.
We had, you know.
Yeah.
Parting of the Ways was, you know, Night Doctor to 10.
Yeah.
End of Time was 10 to 11.
I know.
Tom and the Doctor.
Yeah, I want to say End of Time, but the more I watch it now, the more I'm kind of like, oh, this is sappy. Why is he saying I don't want to go? You know.
So that was my favorite.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, that had always been my favorite, but
I just like that they got like that orchestra. They made that special.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
song and everything.
Yeah. So for me, the Matt Smith to Capaldi was like really quick. It was just like he ducked out of frame and it was Capaldi again. So I don't know if that was like, it was too quick for me to like fully enjoy the fact he changed. So I want to say Eccleston the Tennant.
Right.
Because he said like, oh, you're fantastic. And then he disappears. Then Tennant comes in with his feeling his teeth and everything. It was like, that kind of felt like a good little regeneration. It wasn't overbearing. It wasn't quick. It was in the middle.
Right. That sounds cool. Now, what about that? We didn't want to talk too much about the classic series, regenerations. Like, which ones did you like of the classic? Which of the classic series? Which one was your favorite? If you saw all of them, I don't know if you saw all of them.
Well, I did obviously saw Pertwee turning into Baker, which I asked that the whole robot. Robot, I absolutely love to death. That's like my favorite episode ever. And I quite liked Davison turning into Colin Baker. Because it's like Colin immediately knew who the doctor was going to be, like arrogant and whatever. He just comes up, it's like, were you expecting somebody else? And I'm just like, I love it. I love it. I love it. The only one that was weird for me was because the Sylvester McCoy one, it was pretty much him turning into himself just with a wig on.
That was the thing that a lot of people are like, oh, they already fired him already. And it's like, they didn't even give him to film there. It was like, oh, you know. Death by exercise bike, I guess. Like a lot of people were saying, like, because a lot of people were joking with him. I didn't even realize. Supposedly, the doctor was on the exercise bike or something when the thing crashed and he cracked his head into its harness. And it's like, oh my god, he probably broke his neck or something. And then it's like the regeneration triggered. So, but yeah, that was like the thing that they made fun of. Death by exercise.
It was too much carrot juice. It was too much carrot juice, man.
Well, you know what it is? They didn't accept it either. A lot of people. So the audios, they kind of had this whole thing that I want to really listen to about the Valyard. Yes. Like I guess he had a final adventure right before that started. So that was kind of like a proper thing to regenerate right after that. Yeah, I got to get that. I like the Valyard one. That was like one of my favorite ones with Colin Baker.
Yeah, I like Trell.
Valyard being the future incarnation of the Doctor, which is like, oh my god, he's going to be evil at one point. So okay, so was there any episodes that you didn't like? Like you're like, not a fan of this one. Like I watch it once and that's it type of thing.
Love and Monsters.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I just like when I go wash my clothes in the laundromat, I just don't have the same feeling anymore. No, it's like see Jackie Tyler. Oh, this is a great episode. Jackie Tyler is washing her drawers and in the laundromat talking about her love life. What an episode! Wow, this is like if you ran out of stuff to talk about, we'll do this episode. No, I'm just kidding. But that was just not. I just cannot watch that again.
I think I saw it twice and then I gave up. It's like I can't.
I mean, I think if someone paid me to watch it, I probably wouldn't. Because I'd just be like, I would probably burn it. Like, I would probably, there's certain things that I really hate that I just wouldn't, I'll give somebody money to take it off my hands, Like, if I had a whole Doctor Who collection, which I do, I have it on the DVD. But if they're all single episodes, I just would make my episode list incomplete. I'd not have that one. That's bad. I know. That's great.
It's like, I don't know what it is about. It's like, I haven't seen it in years. And like, if I watch it again, I'll probably be like.
Right. That's kind of like, and I guess every showrunner has their love and monsters. But like for me, Moffat, I'm trying to think what Moffat's absolute worst was. But like, he didn't do it. Well, no, he did some clunkers. I mean, he was showrunner with Sleep No More. I didn't really. Did you like Sleep No More? It was Gatiss that wrote it.
Oh, that was with the eye booger monsters, right?
we heard stuff on the set that Capaldi was angry. He walked off set. And then we're looking at the episode and like, oh, he did walk off set. Because it's like, they grabbed him in the TARDIS and that's how it ended. I'm like, that's kind of weird how it ended abruptly like that. So he never leaves and just doesn't. That was weird. So I'm thinking that there was a mistake with that episode.
Yeah, there was also like a rumor that it was actually just a ploy for the guy who's actually speaking, where it says, look, you got something in your eye, and he starts to disintegrate at the end. How he heard about the Doctor and his companions, and he kind of made this sort of video to tell this, quote, tale that never happened, only to spread.
Oh, it's like fake,
eye booger monsters.
Like it never really happened with really the Doctor. But that would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Because he always resolves things when he just walks away and like.
Right, like we never just have the Doctor say, "This doesn't make sense," and just like
I know, exactly.
And that's the funny thing. It's like almost as if everybody grabbed him and pulled him into the TARDIS, and like some other guy, not even Clara's like, "Yeah, let me just get out of here and control the TARDIS and get out." Because we heard that on Twitter, and we heard like Gatiss have like a snappy reply, like. In code that you have to be like super intelligent to figure it out. But like we heard that Peter Capaldi got so angry with the thing that he just walked off for a little while, or maybe permanently. It was just like, that's it. So, I mean, that's the only way I could explain Sleep No More, because he would not just leave.
I know.
and do nothing. This
I
is
know.
not.
It was
like,
very undoctor-like, and I can see because Capaldi is a very big Doctor Who fan. He knows how the show should be treated. So I'm sure, like, if you like really into the show and you want to give the Doctor your all, and you have this undoctor-like resolution, it's like
right.
it goes against what
that's
you.
That's the first thing we saw. Like, oh, this is where he left. He just like was screaming at Gatiss, does that make sense? And they grabbed it and they ended it just like that.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, all right, you know, but it's just a thing where it's like, why? Why are you doing something to piss him off? Like a ball, he's got to film the thing.
I know.
You know? Like, I mean, come on. And that became like one of the worst episodes of all time, like in some people's minds, you know?
Well, it was definitely better than Love and Monsters, so.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think it's that bad.
That I just can't look at cement blocks anymore the same way. No, but seriously. And that was created by a kid, the Absorbaloff. It was supposed to be a kid's episode.
Oh, God.
That was not a kid's episode. That was like rated R, but you don't know it's rated R unless you really pay attention. Dr.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So anyway. All right. So what about, like, how has Doctor Who affected your life? You started watching in 2005 at age 10, right? So now you're 20.
20.
You're 20 now?
Yeah, I'm going to be turning 21, so yeah.
Okay. So, like, do you like buy the merchandise? Do you buy the shirts? You're all into that because I see your animation is awesome.
Thank you.
Really, you know.
It actually took a while for me to start getting merchandise, actually. The first ever thing related to Doctor Who that I got was a book. It was The Shining Darkness that had the 10th Doctor and Donna Noble. And, of course, that's become, like, my favorite book now. But from there, yeah, I got more books. I have some comic books. I just bought some issues of Doctor Who magazine. I have some soundtracks. I have audio plays. I got T-shirts. It's like nice. I got posters. I have sonic screwdrivers. Like it's.
Now, do you buy any? Where do you buy some of your stuff? Like, do you buy the Doctor Who comics too, or?
My first ever Doctor Who comic I actually bought at Doctor Who Day, where you were at.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I met Simon Fraser. Like that was actually the first Titan comics that I got, and then
Jane and Q Comics.
Yes.
By the way, in case anybody guessed.
And I recently got one again. I forgot the name of it, but I saw Ian and Barbara in it, and I saw it had Matt Smith's Doctor in it. I'm like, ooh, I have to get this. I have to see what this is about. I've yet to read it because I'm bad at that. I will hoard all sorts of things and then not read them. Which happens so often.
That happens with me too.
Yeah.
I buy all this stuff and it builds up, and then I'm like, why don't I read it? It's like, you know.
Exactly.
I bought the John Pertwee comic because the guy drew John Pertwee. I don't know if you saw in the Real Whovians Cast, but it looks exactly. Where is it? I think I have it right here. Hold on.
It's with Titan Comics, right?
Yeah, it was. I remember we were talking about it on the Real Whovians Cast, and I'm like, when this comes out, I'm going to get it. And he drew it. Perfect.
Wait, that's a drawing?
Yeah, that's a drawing. Yes.
No way.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
He drew that.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. So I just had to get the comic for that. I mean, I'm not big with the Doctor Who comics, but because like I just after a while you run out of room, and it's like, but I just that got me to get the comic there. So all right. What else could I say? Yeah, I can't wait for us to do another JHU event, another Doctor Who Day. I got to talk to them, and we'll do more podcasts there, and maybe we'll even do other podcasts for the Everything Show and stuff like that. There, that would be cool. All right, so welcome aboard.
Thank you.
And we will see you on the Real Whovians Cast, hopefully in a little while. Maybe I don't know if you're going to be available in a half hour, an hour. We're going to try to do one. If not, we'll see you during the week. But Jessie, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye for now.